In this brief tutorial, we're going to take a look at how to get started with application control. So what are we talking about? It's a subscription service that enables you to monitor and control the use of applications on your network. We will focus on the relevance of using the quick setup wizard in terms of both getting the service running quicker and getting in place good security practices by restricting the use of most common suspicious and unwanted applications. This is a tool that can help you understand better the network you are trying to protect. It can help you make better decisions in terms of identifying what clients need to perform their job and defining what should be restricted. For example, preventing unauthorized access to illegitimate sites, preventing data breaches and ransomware activity, or simply optimizing the available bandwidth. On this configuration file that comes from running the quick setup wizard, we can see this time that the global app control profile will be searching for specific applications to be dropped and is already attached to policies. Digging deeper in the category view, we can see that all tunneling and proxy services are set to be dropped. Going even further, we will find an application activity that would often be omitted unless you knew already where to find it, and that's the crypto admin activity of our ransomware, searching for keys for encrypting your disks. Here is something that should always be denied for any type of users, located under a very generic category. We can see that the wizard has bound this profile to all outgoing policies. The other ones that would likely only be used by an administrator to manage the appliance are not usually required to have any application control profile. Now let's look at a profile that I have created manually, with the intention of dropping applications that consume a lot of bandwidth and may be considered detrimental to productivity for some businesses. To do that, that's very easy, since one can simply clone the existing recommendation of the wizard proposed global profile, then select the category menu, then tick the unwanted group of applications and click OK. In this case, I am dropping peer-to-peer activity, social networks, media streaming, and online gaming platforms, on top of the suggested tunneling and proxy services and crypto admin. To look for a specific application, we can simply start typing in the search field and apply the desired action. In this case, I can prevent the use of legacy versions of Internet Explorer to prevent exploits and vulnerabilities executed on clients. Under the action column next to IE version 8, we can see that the field is blank. Like aforementioned, this implies that this application will follow the default action referred to in the bottom, in this case, to detect and allow the application. Now to apply this new profile to policies, we simply select the Policies tab, select the policies that should use it, and select the action in the drop-down menu. Let's save this configuration. Another aspect that is often forgotten is the logging of the action. If we look at this DNS policy using the global application control profile, we can see that the detections of applications for outbound TCP/UDP port 53 will be visible in both the traffic monitor and in the log and report server, such as Dimension or WatchGuard Cloud. This allows us to monitor application connections and bandwidth usage over time. The wizard guarantees that all outgoing policies are monitored for application usage so we can understand our network better. Here is how one can see a filtered view of application control in action in Traffic Monitor. Using the keyword application in this search field, we can see how the firebox has prevented media streaming attempts at the DNS request level. But if we wish to have an overview of the application being used in this network in real time, one of the best places to start is the Web UI dashboard and Firewatch. Dimension or WatchGuard Cloud would also show the data, but with a few minutes of delay. We can locate the top application by bandwidth, rate, and amount of connections. Let's see what happens when I try to download a popular VPN bypassing solution through my browser. I get a very clear message from the Firebox denying the request. Now let's look at what happens when the service I'm trying to reach is defaulting to HTTPS. The connection is reset, but no WatchGuard message will be visible by the user. That's because content inspection is understandably not enabled by default. However, if there was any doubt, the administrator can take a look at the traffic monitor to verify that in this case, Twitter is denied through the HTTPS proxy policy. Which leads me to the importance of content inspection in order to detect web applications with more precision. If we do not consider it, likely most of them will be marked as generic HTTP over SSL. Here is a broader example of reporting the dimension server showing how a significant portion of the bandwidth usage is attributed to HTTP protocol over TLS SSL. But also note that the Firebox is able to detect some common applications without inspection, such as Google API or Windows updates. If we look in the security dashboard for applications that have been denied, we can see how often the Firebox has detected unwanted media streaming, social media, and gaming applications as per our policy. Now you may ask, where do I enable the content inspection then? In a nutshell, you'll have to edit the HTTPS proxy policy and change the default action to inspect for any domain not present as an exception or in the list of default domains, and then select which HTTP proxy action you wish to enforce. But doing so will override any inspect action you may have set based on the web blocker category. This also implies that you either import an already trusted root certificate authority from the domain controller, or that you distribute the default self-signed certificate used by the Firebox on all common browsers used in the network, which is a topic covered in another video. But for now, here are my key takeaways. First, running the quick setup wizard from the web UI or the WatchGuard system manager on factory default settings is the best way to save time and apply good security practices, because they create for you a global application control profile that ensures that most unwanted applications that would normally evade the firewall do get dropped, and more generally, that you ensure a continued monitoring of all applications. Secondly, if you do not use Dimension Server or add your Firebox to WatchGuard Cloud for visibility, you will likely be making it more difficult for yourself to determine what is needed in your network, what is taking most of the network bandwidth, and understand where the threats are coming from. Overall, this will help you to make better policies to enhance the work experience and the security practices. For more information, do consult the WatchGuard technical search.